Breaking news: all churches and mosques in Lagos should reopen from July 1st under these 5 conditions. The conditions is listed below. Ever since the index case of the novel COVID-19 was recorded in Nigeria in late February, the federal government had begun to take proactive effects to curb the spread and ensure the safety of the masses. As part of those precautionary measures, President Muhammadu Buhari had imposed an initial lockdown in Lagos State, where the index case had been recorded, and also in Abuja and Ogun State for 2 weeks. Following the lockdown, all business activities had been suspended. Schools, religious centers, offices, interstate movements, sporting events, shows and concerts. After the expiration of the 2 weeks, there was an apparent increase in the number of recorded cases, and this had prompted the president to extend the lockdown for another 2 weeks. Other states had followed suit, and all forms of businesses, religious gatherings, schools, and so on and so forth had been suspended in every state. But the prolonged lockdown had come with adverse effects on socio-economic impacts, loss of jobs and businesses, also social instability and hardship. And this made the government to ease the lockdown, but with center conditions attached to it. After some time, some states also began to lift the ban of religious gatherings, but Lagos was yet to follow suit. The rising recorded cases in the state had discovered the state from easing the lockdown of churches and mosques. But after observing what is going on in Lagos State, and in fact the entire country, I am on the opinion that all churches and mosques in Lagos should be reopened from July 1st, 2020, but under certain conditions. One may ask, why am I asking that churches and mosques in Lagos should be reopened? But my reasons are not far-fetched. Like we already know, religion is the opiate of the people. Being a very religious country, churches and mosques have been a huge source of escape from depression for many people, especially in this difficult time where many people had lost their jobs and sources of income because of the global pandemic. A lot of jobs need a form of closure, an escape route, or where they can run to for help, or the semblance of it. And no other place has really offered hope to people like churches and mosques. Just sitting down to hear their priest and imam preach means a lot. Preaching means a lot to many people, but some they don't listen to preaching. All they do is to sit and sleep in the church. Some goes to church not because they are going to seek God's face. No, some are going to church. Some go to church because of girls, young girls, beautiful girls that they have been eyeing and waiting to see her again. Is that what church is all about? Is church a beer parlor, or is it a bar or club? It's not. Imagine. And now that these region centers have been suspended, this will cause many to fall into depression. Apart from just the sermon, some of these religious centers have their own ways of watching out for and assisting one another in whatever way they can. Personally, I know of churches in Lagos State who take up the responsibility of giving food items to poor members every Sunday. There are also some churches who run free feeding program every weekdays. These are instances to prove that reopening churches and mosques is very essential in Lagos State, and it should be done on July 1st, 2020, which means that it should be as soon as possible. But there should be conditions given to these churches and mosques before they can reopen, and the conditions are: 1. All members must wear nose mask before being allowed inside the church or mosque. 2. There must be washing of hands, and there must be a washing equipment and hand sanitizer at the entrance of the church or mosque for every member to use before going inside the church. 3. The churches or mosque must maintain enough spacing instead. There must be a 2 to 3 mile far away from their ne- their, their the next person beside them. So I think they must maintain enough spacing inside the church, even though it means having different services. That is it. 4. Their premises must be disinfected before and after service to check any forms of contaminations in the church. 5th, the last, the churches and mosques must observe social distancing, which means that there should be no laying of hands on the members by the head, by the priests or imams. No handshake or hugs among the members. Reopening the churches and mosques in Lagos State will help revive the psyche of the people, which has already been dampened by the frustrations of this crisis. Thank you, viewers, for listening to this news. I think Sanwo-Ore has made the right decision by commanding and by telling churches in Nigeria, in Lagos State, to reopen churches and mosques to be reopened. That's a new good news for Lagos State people. A lot of people have been praying for them, for this lockdown, for this suspension of churches and mosques to be relaxed. To be reopened. Sorry to say. Now God has answered our prayers. We are so much happy that the church we have not been going to for like 2 months now. So if you have any comments concerning this, don't hesitate to drop them below the comment box. Click on the subscription button as well as the bell button to receive updates whenever I publish new videos. And don't forget, share and like this news as well. Thank you.